continued budget challenges and low enrollment, we have been forced to make some very tough decisions.
Budget cuts forcing Oklahoma City public school officials to consider shutting down some schools. All of this in efforts to save some money. The state's largest school district trying to save about $1 million by closing 5 schools. Joining us now to talk about this major plan, Oklahoma City Public School Superintendent Aurora Laura. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
You know, when you gave that press conference, when you made that announcement, quite honestly, you didn't seem super thrilled about this plan. Do you like this plan?
No, there's nothing about budget cuts that I like.
Why are you doing this plan if you don't like it, if you're not on board with it?
Yeah, so the reality is I had to cut $30 million from the school district during my first month on the job last year, and that was devastating in itself, just having to cut 208 teachers, 100 people from central office, 100 people from operations, and so we made it through that, but the idea that that funding is not coming back at this time and we're having to prepare for $4 to $10 million in additional cuts, there's not a lot left to cut. And so none of my options are good at this point.
Is there anything else that you can think of that could possibly be done at this point?
You know, I mean, we are, at this point, what we are doing is preparing, on Thursday night, I'm going to come out with the rest of the things that we've agreed to cut to get us possibly up to the 10 million mark. But at the end of the day, we are really depending on legislators to help us figure out some stable funding for education in Oklahoma.
Can you tell us what those other things are going to be that you're announcing?
So the closure proposals for about 1.2 million, and so I'm coming up with about 8.8 million in other things. So some of that's looking at contracts, additional cuts to central office. Some of it I'm going to request will come out of fund balance. So we've got a variety of other things that we are willing to cut, but at the same time, we've got to figure out a way to get possibly up to 10 million.
Wow, 10 million more dollars that you have to cut on top of the 30 million that you already did.
Yes.
When you first got. Now, as I understand it, nothing is set in stone when it comes to these 5 schools. And we do have a full screen of the schools that are up for discussion right now. Nothing set in stone just yet. The 5 schools right here that are really kind of on the chopping block, so to speak. How did you decide on these 5 schools?
Well, part of what we did is we looked at schools with low enrollment and tried to figure out what are places where enrollment might be really low, where kids could benefit if they went to a nearby larger school, in a place where there would be space and they could get access to more days of a counselor and more days of art and music and those kind of things. In the case of one of the schools, we did look at building condition, where the building has not been renovated since 1965, and so the nearby buildings are much more modern.
Which one was that?
That's FD Moon Academy.
FD Moon. You know, my grandmother taught at Gatewood for 22 years. She still has a lot of friends who teach there. What happens to the teachers at these 5 schools? Are they let go?
No, for the most part, teachers will have the option to transfer to nearby schools or any other vacancy in the district. So the teaching positions will probably pretty much stay intact, but teachers won't be able to continue as part of their home school if this part of the proposal does move forward.
Okay. We spoke to one of our city councilmen on this, and he said that closing any school really has a negative impact on a community anytime really a school closes. Want to take a listen to this soundbite.
Anytime that you close a school down, it has a negative impact upon the surrounding community. It creates blight in a community.
Basically saying it creates blight in a community. Do you agree with that?
Well, I do think that if buildings sit abandoned and become graffitied or get broken into, it could create blight in the community. And so what we would want to do is make sure that we are repurposing these buildings in ways that make sense so that we can keep the buildings in good condition and not end up having it become an eyesore for the community.
What ways would they be repurposed?
So some of the things that we're developing a committee to determine that, and some of the things that we could consider would be allowing nonprofits to use the space, perhaps doing some expansions of current schools and allowing them to use some of the space, or maybe repurposing for other community centers or those kind of things that the community might be interested in.
One of the questions I was asked was, if the teachers aren't losing their jobs, how exactly is this going to save more than $1 million? Is it just air conditioning costs and admin costs? I mean, how are you actually saving money by closing 5 schools?
Yeah, so the teaching positions aren't they're going to be transferred to another school. The only thing it really saves is the cost of a principal, a school secretary, and then some utility costs. And so that's why we calculate the amount of money saved per school that's closing to only be around $250,000.
Okay. And then when will we know if these 5 schools are going to be closed or not?
So I am gathering feedback right now and trying to determine the budget proposal that I will take forward to the board on Thursday. Thursday night it'll go to the board members as information, and then the vote will be April 6th.
Okay, so coming up, what has been some of the feedback that you've gotten from board members, from parents as well?
Yeah, for the most part, people do not like this proposal in any way. We are getting.
And you don't either.
No, I don't. So, we're open to other ideas for ways that can save money, but we just don't have a lot of choices. But they are suggesting some small things, including maybe changing the boundaries or changing where kids are zoned to, or phasing programs out as some solutions that could make this more palatable for families.
Also want to mention, so the plan recommends consolidation of the 5 schools, but also the transition of Northeast Academy into a neighborhood middle school serving the Douglas Feeder program. So how does that kind of fit into saving money?
So part of we would be relieving some overcrowding at other schools and converting Northeast into a grade 5 through 8 middle school, which would allow it to actually get more students than are currently there now and allow us to make better use of that building. At the same time, we would be converting Douglas High School into just a straight 9 through 12 high school.
Okay.